Together we are invincible. Save the world from all wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Save us from losing our souls. Save the world. Save the world from all wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Together we can save the world. Together we are invincible. Save the world from all wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Save us from losing our souls. Save the world. Save the world from all wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Together we can save the world. Together we are invincible. Save the world from all wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls.
Another kid, making my wish come true like a genie. Holding up a glass in the club too steamy. Not a race horse, you're a black Lamborghini. Some people might think you're sleazy. It's so fine, so you're making look easy. So much you can make a man green. So don't stop, go ahead and get freaky. You got me wanting to be with you. So sexy, I don't know what to do. Your curves are making my dreams come true. The way it's pushing me just be naughty, move like a bro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. Hot body. Makes me wanna fall in love. Makes me wanna fall in love. Don't stop now, just get naughty. Move like a bro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. Hot body. Hot body.
everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. Sorry I haven't streamed since Tuesday. It's been a wild week. We've had, like I said, we've had sick children. We've had all sorts of crazy shit going on. So I apologize for not being here before. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard. I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are ready for a fun stream because we've got a lot of shit to cover. We have a couple of social commentary things to do. We have a lot of question period to catch up on, but we're not going to watch all 3 days of question period. I've got some clips pulled up from yesterday and Wednesday, and then I've got today's question period pulled up. So we should have a good fun-filled stream. And then of course later tonight I will be back to play some Mortal Kombat because we have literally 12 hours until the Sento Showdown. So that's gonna be something that I really need to practice for if I want to make top 8. There are 18 competitors registered for the Sento Showdown, so that's gonna be tomorrow. Pools are happening, and then Sunday is top 8. So I will be live streaming tomorrow with the Sento Showdown, and I will be having because it's check-in via Twitch chat, and so I'll be checking in via Twitch and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, I think. So yeah, like I said, I want to get the just chatting stuff out of the way and get all this out of the way so I can game for a good while tonight. So that being said, we are going to switch over our scene, and we are going to take a look at an August the Duck video about a TikToker that thinks they're an alien. I'm so glad I deleted this app. Like, I'm honestly, and it's really funny because it's been about a month since I deleted it, and one person, a fellow creator, a fellow blind creator, Ability Blind Mom, reached out to me yesterday on Instagram and asked me where I was. One person. That's it. So, yeah, I'm really glad I deleted that app. So we're going to look at this video from August the Duck about this TikToker who thinks they are an alien.
Hello there. It is really nice to meet you. My name is Jel. I'm a reporter. I cover the Milky Way.
Oh, God. Oh God. Did she just say her name was Jel?
I just landed here on Earth and I'm really excited to explore.
You humans are really something.
Well, guys, today's video is kind of an interesting one. I feel like I'm back in 2022 making a video like this. I haven't made a video talking about something this stupid in quite some time, but I feel like the time is right. We're back. There was a time a couple of years ago where I would make a lot of videos, not a ton, but a lot, where I would talk about people pretending to be something on TikTok. Or
yeah, like pretending to have split personalities, pretending to be from the past or the future, pretending to be able to predict the future, pretending to be a sidekick not a sidekick, a sidekick.
For the internet in general, really, but mainly it was TikTok. I don't know why or how that became such a common kind of video for me to make, but for a moment I was really into making videos of people pretending to be dogs, cats, anime characters, whatever. But then
Okay, or that. I didn't realize that was a thing.
and over time, those videos became less and less common to the point now where I can't even really remember the last time I made something of that nature. That was until today. The other day, somebody sent me a TikTok of this lady who's been pretending to be an alien on TikTok for almost a year. Now, I went through this
Oh my
TikTok
God.
account, and at first I was like, okay, this is kind of just stupid. But
A year. She's been pretending to be an alien for a year. How do you pull that off? Like, seriously, how do you pull off pretending to be an alien for a year?
the more I looked into it, the more I was like, what is going on here? And the more the videos began to annoy me. The TikTok account Universal Discourse is apparently run by an alien named Jelzaborf7
Jelzaborf?
from the planet Koark. Now, run by an alien named Jelzaborf7 from the planet Koark.
Koark? Koark. You say that fast, it almost sounds like quark. Doesn't it? You fucking rip-off artist.
After watching
Not
about
you,
10
August.
minutes of this TikTok account, I was like, okay, I see the vision. This is somebody who's trying to call attention to some of the problems we have here on Earth by pretending like they've come from some super intelligent advanced society, and they're just baffled at what we're doing. Now, the commentary on those topics and the way that this alien discusses them, it's extremely simple, and it's not really doing anybody any good, but we'll get to that later. But I thought that's all it was. And then I started to dig a little bit deeper, and I found a website that this person had made, and a Patreon that this person had made, where
Oh God. So they're savvy enough about how things work here on Earth to have made a Patreon and a website, and they're okay, alrighty.
they are really, really leaning into this I'm an alien thing. And like, look, that's
Okay.
fine. I don't care if you want to pretend to be an alien on the internet. But some of the things that this, quote, alien says are not super productive, and they sort of contradict everything that they're doing. So, I mean, on the surface, that's
do
why
tell us,
we're here.
August.
And I mean, honestly, I'll admit this is kind of a stupid thing for me to talk about. But I think it'll be a decent
No, don't sell yourself short. I want to hear about the stupid things that the crazy alien lady is saying.
segue into something I've been sort of wanting to talk about recently, so, I'm going to use that as an excuse, okay? But let's not waste any more time. Let's see what Jezelborf7 has to say,
Jezelborf?
okay? Let's begin.
What kind of lazy person comes up with the name Jezelborf as an alien name? Like, seriously, how unoriginal do you have to be to go, I know, I'll start with Jezebel, but take Bell off and turn it into Ilborf. Jezelborf. That'll be, that's fine. That's totally cool and creative.
Hello there. It is really nice to meet you. My name is Jel. I'm a reporter. I cover the Milky Way. I just landed here on Earth and I'm really excited to explore.
Jel's-
First, I need to find me some clothes because it looks like you all donned those.
Don them. Yes, we don them. We do. We don them. We also wear them. We we haven't really donned anything for quite some time. We don't speak that way.
To go and do activities out in the world. So if you have any recommendations on where I could find some of those, I would.
Okay, so you're advanced enough to have landed a spaceship here on Earth, found a smartphone, figured out how it works, downloaded TikTok, and then you've not figured out where clothes come from or are bought, but you figured out how to use TikTok. Okay.
Love to take them. And any other pertinent information that you feel you might want to share with me. I know in your news you've seen some stories about aliens.
She's no alien, she's not green like Star Trek taught us. Not wrong.
Sightings or, you know, stuff like that. It is true. We are here. I don't know what everyone else is up to, but me personally, I'm just here doing a story on the first intelligent society to destroy its own planet.
Oh, fuck you. You self-important climate activist faker.
Very, very interesting what you all are up to.
Okay, so a lot of these videos are kind of long, so I'm not going to be playing all of them in their entirety, but I think you kind of get the gist. So yeah, reporter from another planet reporting on the first intelligent society to destroy its own planets. Now, look guys, I'm going to try really hard throughout this video to not even really address the whole I'm an alien thing.
Also, destroy its own planet. Like, humans, she has a manly face. I want to go to her planet. Coark? Planet Coark? Or Planet Quark, as I'm going to call it from now on. Anyway, what was I gonna say? This humanity doesn't have the power to destroy the planet.
It's gonna be difficult for me, okay? Asking questions like, how do you know how to speak English? How did you manage to get a house before you got clothes? How are you knowledgeable enough and prepared enough to do a story on this planet to the point where you know that we're destroying it, yet you didn't know you needed clothes?
How do you, yeah. How are you knowledgeable enough about this stuff, but you don't know where to get clothes? How like, if you were an advanced enough alien to operate a spaceship, wouldn't you, like, have observed us from afar first, and then figured out that you need clothes? And figured out where to get them?
There's a lot of questions I could ask throughout this video, but I'm going to try my best not to. No promises.
My robot did some research, and
My robot did some research. Oh my god. You can't even come up with a... This is pissing me off. As a Trekkie, this is pissing me off. You can't even come up with a name for your robot? My robot did some research. Oh, fuck off. You can't even say my rover, my autonomous research gathering device. No, my robot did some research. Fuck you, you fucking unoriginal hack.
Best not do. No promises.
my robot did some research, and it turns out that TikTok is an application that these humans use connected to their internet. It's very low quality. I wanted to connect with the people, and that's where you can find them. So I started a TikTok account.
Before I got clothes. Somehow I figured out that people were on TikTok, and I got a device with which I could use TikTok and figured out how to use that. Also, didn't figure out how to use Google on that device to find clothes. I'm really hung up on this.
Where I'll be sharing this as well. I don't know if it'll probably just go right over their heads. They are an interesting breed, I will say. They talk a lot about, oh, we hate white men. And then I'm on the East Coast of North America, and they have a presidential election happening this year. And the two frontrunners...
North America has a presidential election? The East Coast has a presidential election? You are a terrible reporter. If you were an actual intergalactic reporter, You would so lose your job. You would, oh my God. The East Coast of North America has an election this year. That's not a country. That's what you should be saying is the country of the United States is having an election this year. I am on the East Coast of North America. That's how you could... Oh my...
White men.
Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking about when I said I feel like these videos are a decent segue into something I've been wanting to talk about. We're gonna get more in depth on this towards the end of the video once you've seen more of these TikToks, but this brand of social commentary that seems to be very popular on Twitter and TikTok right now, there's nothing worse than it. This is the most unproductive, condescending shit anybody can do right now, and it seems like everybody's doing it. This alien here has a tendency to bring up problems that a lot of people are talking about these days, like the fact that our presidential choices have been dog shit for a while, and then she just says, oh, you guys don't like it, why don't you do something about it?
It is true, like, you do see it on Twitter with as well as TikTok. Like the social commentary of both sides are shit. Stop complaining about it and change it.
Like, do you not understand how fucked up American politics are? Do you not think the average person would do something about it if they actually had any way imaginable to do so? Like, oh, you guys hate white men. Why do you keep putting white men in the presidential race? Like, Miss Jelzelborf, do you not realize that the people who don't like white men are probably not voting for white men in the primaries? Like, you get that, right? That's a hypothetical because I don't think you do. But this is the kind of social commentary and political activism that's popular these days. You just gotta pretend that you're better than everybody else and that
I'm fucking better than you.
You know everything, and instead of offering any solutions, instead of sitting there having meaningful discussions with people saying this is what we should do, we have this problem, this is the best solution, this is what you can do to help that. No, it's just attacking random 16-year-olds on Twitter for not having the perfect moral compass and dedicating every waking moment of their life to being a political activist, and by political activist they mean just whining about shit on Twitter. In the most...
It's so true. The way that people think getting things done now is not actually just sitting down and speaking coherently about a thing. Like what I try to do here on these streams with political commentary. They just go and yell into the ether.
Unhelpful, close-minded way possible, may I add. Saying if you guys don't like white men, why do you keep voting for them, is one of the dumbest questions somebody can pose, and it goes to show where you really stand in understanding American politics.
The thing I miss the most, though, is just on my planet, everyone is treated equally because we all look the same and just...
You all look the same? Oh, so you're like the Janai, huh? You're all androgynous and you're all like...
honor and respect each other. Here, it's quite different. And I find myself in a female body and it's not easy.
I find myself in a female body. What, are you a non-corporeal alien? Are you a trill? Do you need a host? Or are you like a fucking Scientology alien? Are you a soul? Do you like what the fuck?
Here, being a woman all the time, especially when you see how men are treated.
Oh, shut up.
It's pretty wild how different it is.
Wow, that might be the bravest and most unique take I've ever heard. You mean to tell me not everybody treats other people the same on this planet? That women have it harder than men in society? I think you're the first person to ever say that. Look, I'm not trying to be too hard on this alien here, but like, seriously, like, look, if you're just having a general political discussion with people talking about stuff you don't like, I'm not saying you need to go into super high detail about everything, don't need to lay out a platform, but if you're doing this, like if you're dedicating a year of your life to what I assume is some sort of social experiment to...
Yeah, how do you wake up one day and go, I know, I'm gonna be an alien. I'm going to pretend to be an alien in everything that I do. How do you make that decision?
So I guess bring awareness to problems we have in our society. I'm gonna ask a little bit more from you. Like, these are the most lukewarm, agreeable takes that any intelligent person is gonna agree with. Racist, sexist, discriminatory people exist. That is like not even up for debate. Like, what is the point of saying on my planet everybody gets treated the same? Which, by the way, throwing in that the reason you guys all treat each other the same is because you all look the same is a really weird thing to say.
Yeah. We all look the same, so therefore we all treat each other with respect. Okay, so if you saw somebody that didn't look like you, you'd be like, fuck you, you ugly trash.
But again, I'm not trying to like pile on to this lady in particular, but when I saw this, it was just a really good example of what I see everywhere now. And I think it just highlights how pointless the average political discussion has gotten. They go nowhere. People who think they're doing good, people who think they're educated on politics, are just going onto social media, saddling up the highest horse they can find, and then talking down to people while regurgitating the most surface level talking points you could imagine. They attack individuals rather than the governments making these issues, and they really trick themselves into thinking they make a difference.
That's why I try to look at what's going on in the government and what the government is doing. And like, if I'm going to attack an individual in the government, then I will make sure that I know like what I'm talking about, right? Like, I have these clips that I've pulled up for question period to tell you about. I've watched them. I know what I'm going to show you, right? Because I don't just want to shit all over people for no reason.
It's not a good way to live.
You humans are really something. If I could give you one piece of advice, not that you asked, but you all dissociate very frequently. Not all.
I'm sorry, what the fuck are you doing right now, lady? Pretending to be an alien. You're not disassociating?
All of you, but a lot of you just poof, go away. And it's because your brains haven't really caught up to having this high-tech technology. It's high-tech for you. The phones.
It's high-tech for you. You poor things.
Connections of the internet. The human internet is so cute. But you're
It's so cute, really. Okay, if anybody that was like anything into science fiction got a hold of this video, they would rip it apart. Because she goes, your internet is so cute. But she's not original enough to come up with like any kind of concept that she could run with that could exist on her quote planet. She's just surface level pretending to be an alien. It's so fucking annoying.
Animal brains are not quite ready for that, so you've become addicted to the screens. And it's a way to just completely dissociate from reality anytime you want. I would pay attention to how many times you're leaving the present moment.
Okay, so this is kind of where we go away from the political rants. Gonna keep those to a minimum going forward. Now we're back to talking about Jelzaborf. Ma'am, I really hope that the irony of this situation is not lost on you.
Yeah. I'm with August here. That is some tasty ironing.
You are sitting here preaching to people saying you guys just disassociate so much. You're out of touch with reality. You're addicted to your phones. Do better, guys. As you pretend to be an alien every single day for a year on TikTok.
Yeah. You're literally pretending to be something you're not on a very addictive app. It's incredibly ironic.
Do you want to be the pot or the kettle? You can be either one. I mean, that's like a top 10 tone deaf statement that we've heard on this channel.
You guys are so obsessed with doing. What are you doing later? What are you doing? How are you doing? On my planet, we are just being. We're just experiencing this existence.
Did she just flip the fucking Simpsons thing? You're not a human being. You're a human doing. And she just took that and flipped it completely. Oh my god.
We're not doing. Of course you do stuff, but it's not the central focus. I highly suggest removing that as being your central focus. I know.
Doing stuff?
You gotta make money, put food on the table. But if you try to just be, you'll see.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Ooh, my second favorite genre of social media activist, the existence police. And no, I'm not referring to people who say stuff like, you should be a good person and have morals. I think those are pretty fair things to say. I'm referring to the people who say that, hey, you're just not existing right. You're not relaxing right. You're not doing your life right. You worry too much. You
do too many things with your life. You don't do enough things with your life. You don't act enough, or you don't do enough, or you're not enlightened enough, or whatever.
do too much. You think too much. I mean, are we really fucking complaining about people saying, what are you doing later and how are you doing? Really? How tall are the legs of this horse?
Planet Coark, the best place ever. I wish that you could come, but your frail human bodies couldn't possibly make the trip.
Oh my god, shut up, you pretentious. I don't even know what to call you. So I'll just make up a name, a word. You figgledy fark.
Species is actually very similar to your own. We're just like hundreds of thousands of years more evolved. So we have AI just running the gig for us. And
oh, good for you. So you're Skynet.
And we mostly just chill. It's awesome. You guys are going to get there. Well, maybe not you. Anyway, so we have just like no hate and...
Really? Because you seem pretty hateful and smug and spiteful to me. You with your no hate bullshit, you seem pretty smug. I hope it gets decked with a Buick.
No war, no violence. It's very relaxing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be pushing it in your face at all. I know you all are going through it right now. I've also noticed that your government structures are very corrupt. A lot of power and money, trading hands. Not good. I'm so sorry. I know that a lot of you don't have any say in that. That is unfortunate. But power in numbers. Remember that.
And
Power in number. What are you even saying, lady? What are you even saying right now? Does anybody understand this? Because I do not.
And I think this is going to be where I end it because, I mean, come on. This is it. This is the best example of how useless and performative this kind of shit is. Oh, wow. Really? Your perfect planet doesn't have any war, any corruption. There's never any disruption of the peace. That's awesome. How'd you get there? How do you think planet Earth could manage that? Any insight on that? Or do you truly think it's enough to just say, hey guys, like we should have a planet with no war or no hate. Like everything should just be perfect.
Yeah, that's literally what she's doing. Like, even Gene Roddenberry... I'm sorry, the Federation may be communist, but at least Gene Roddenberry fucking gave you the steps to how they got there. He didn't just say, it should exist this way.
That's what I would do, at least. Like, do you really think you're doing anything by saying that stuff? But wait, there's more. Are governments corrupt? Money's trading hands between the elite? All our politicians aren't perfect? No, where'd you get such a silly idea? Are you sure? And wait, did you just say power in numbers? I've never thought of that. I mean, holy shit, are you just like reading a list of political topics? I mean, you cannot get any more surface level than this.
It's like she asked ChatGPT to write her write me an observational piece based on being an alien from another planet. And it gave her like one generation of something, and she didn't go any deeper into it. She didn't tweak it. She didn't give it any more prompts. She just read it and was like, yeah, that's totally what an alien would say.
She's basically just saying buzzwords, and by the end of the video, she's acting like she's done something, like she's utilized a platform. This is what social media has come to. This is what I'm talking about. People will dedicate a year of their life to pretend to be an alien to, quote, help out society, and this is what they're doing. Instead of spending a year doing anything meaningful, they want to do the bare minimum and still feel like they've done something. They go on the internet and say, hey guys, we should treat women the same we treat men. And they expect like a round of applause for people to be like, oh my god, I've never thought of that.
Yeah. So, hey guys, we shouldn't treat each other like dog shit. Holy crap, you're right. You are a genius. We've never thought about that before.
It's fixed. It's solved. Men and women are finally equal in society. Let's go. Like, I just don't understand it. From a teenager, sure. From an adult, this is just kind of sad. Well, guys, I wasn't really expecting this video to get near as ranty as it ended up being. I guess I've been holding some of this in, but
August, you know what? It's totally fine. Sometimes we need to rant. Sometimes a rant is necessary. It's good for the soul, August. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Where are we? What are we gonna look at next? Oh, this IRL stream got him kidnapped. This is a couple days old, but I still wanted to take a look at it because, you know, what the hell happened to somebody got kidnapped because of an IRL stream. That makes me want to look at it. So, let's jump into this.
Thursday, October 17, 2024, a 26-year-old YouTuber was approached by 3 men dressed as police officers with M16s. By the time he realized they were not police, it was too late, as he was grabbed and thrown onto a boat and the kidnappers took off south. This is just such a depressing but stupid situation to cover, as the whole thing was extremely avoidable, and he had so many chances to save himself. But who is this man? Well, he's an American IRL streamer who's been building a following off of, in quote, living in the Philippines' most dangerous area as an American.
Oh, that sounds safe. Living anywhere in a dangerous place as an American just doesn't sound safe.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Pro tip, if most of the citizens avoid a portion of their country, it's best you do as well. The Australian government straight up says, do not travel here. And the FBI also states, do not travel to the area that he's in. Yeah.
That's insane. There are literally parts of countries, governments that are like, no, don't go there. It's bad. You'll die.
For some reason, he decided to go there and he found a wife. I don't know if he knows, but being a passport bro doesn't have to be an extreme sport. If you really care about your life, you can find someone in an area that doesn't have a do not travel warning.
Yeah, there are plenty of places in the world to find a wife without getting, killed.
By multiple Western governments. Bruh. According to a Sun article, it says a witness claimed the Vermont native was shoved into a white speedboat just after 11 p.m. on Thursday in a remote town he'd been living in. Local resident Abdulmali Hamsiranjala told cops that the 4 armed men pretended to be police officers when they forcibly took the YouTuber who tried to escape.
Well, of course he tried to escape. He was being kidnapped. But Jesus Christ, like, this is what you... I don't want to say this is what you get, because, like, that's horrible to be kidnapped. Right? You don't actually want people to be kidnapped, even if they go into a no travel area. But, I mean, come on.
Abdulmali said the men were dressed in black and armed with M16 rifles. One of the gunmen allegedly shot Elliot's leg before he dragged him onto the speedboat, then fled by sea further south. Oh, what a horrible situation. Cops worked tirelessly to chase the suspects and the YouTuber, but failed to locate them, so he alerted other police and local Marine units. They said, "We confirmed that there was a report of an alleged abduction of an American national. We want to assure the public, particularly the community of Saboko, that we are doing everything in our power to secure the safe recovery of the victim."
I don't know if they're going to succeed in that. They may not. So he covered himself in blood and jumped into shark-infested waters. Shockingly, the sharks attacked. He went there to get a wife. Cool, meet her, get together, then bring her back. Yeah, that exactly, Black Romeo, exactly.
Police asked the public to immediately provide any information they could help in the ongoing investigation of the reported abduction. So this is just nothing short of absolutely horrifying. And it's depressing that, best case scenario, this is a hostage ransom situation, as the other alternative is he's gone. This sucks. I can't believe he would do that to himself. Why would he ever put himself in this situation? As he clearly acknowledged the danger here, as his first video is titled, "Living in the most dangerous area of the Philippines, Red Zone." Then in the description, he wrote, "Zamboanga is one of the deadliest areas in the Philippines for foreigners."
Then why are you there?
Okay, bro, why are you here then?
Yeah. Why are you there? Like, if you know it's the most dangerous area in the Philippines, don't go there, dude. Like, I'm sorry you got kidnapped, but holy shit.
And what makes this super eerie is he talked about this on his live streams, which he streamed multiple times a day. Like, this guy was broadcasting all the time.
Everybody's telling me right now, there's people out there planning to come get me, bro. No, but that's true though. There's people coming here to tell my family that.
My God, he sounds like a child. He sounds like a literal teenage boy.
There's people that want to kidnap me, or they're threatening to kidnap me, or stuff like that. Like every day. Every day this is happening. This is like a real life thing for me here. And that's why no foreigners or there's no tourists staying here. Because they're smarter than that. But for me, I've been living here, I've been taking this chance. You know? Even last night, I'm scared a little bit.
I'm here because I'm an idiot. That's basically what he just said. They're smarter than me, is what he just said.
I'm scared.
Why are you still here then? His whole logic is rooted in survivor bias, which clearly can only get you so far. If you live in a red zone, aka a do not travel to area because of kidnappings and ransom, and a bunch of people are coming to your family regularly saying, "Hey, there's a plot for this, grab your family and leave." Why would you ever stay? Sure,
Even if he's in his early 20s, I believe it, because he sounds like a child.
It's a false alarm. At least you dodged that nightmare situation.
Yeah.
There's been many nights in this house where I'm just been scared, dude. Well, that's why I dyed my hair black. Maybe I look more like a Filipino now, right? Or maybe not.
Dude, coloring his hair is the least of his worries. That's
Coloring your hair to look like a Filipino? No. Dude, just leave.
absolutely not going to fix his problems.
And if it comes to the point where it's like, all of a sudden I'm kidnapped and something's gonna happen to me, I'm gonna ask myself, I don't know. Yeah, it's like everybody's saying that, you should just go home. Like, this is literally my third time down here. Living in this house. It's my third time.
Then
The first time I came here, it was like 1 month or something. Or like 2 months I stayed here and then I went home.
Then go home. Why are you still here? He sounds like he's 12. He does. He sounds like he's fucking... You just said it, like he's 12.
The second time, it was 6 months I stayed here and then I went home. Because of these kidnapping stories and shit like that. Yeah, I don't know if I believe it either. I wish I could just... I'd rather just travel around. Like, I like this country, but like, I don't like feeling like I'm stuck here either. That's
I
kind of
don't want to believe it. Well, guess what, dude? Believe it. Believe that you are living in one of the most dangerous areas.
But I'm not complaining. Like, I like the situation I'm in. I'm just, well, you know, it's a real story. My wife, she was in school. She was in school, bro. I don't know what, it was like 5th grade or something. And then these kidnappers came into their school with guns. And they took one of those young girls whose parents were from like Canada or something like that. So they knew that they had money, right?
Jesus. That's scary. That his wife actually knows somebody that was kidnapped because of where their parents are
They
from.
knew they had money. So those people took that girl and they held her for a ransom. They held her for a ransom of like, I don't know what it was, $40,000 or $50,000, something like that. So this is real.
Yeah.
This is not like, I know it's like some stories too, but this is real too. My wife had this happen to me in her class. She had a gun pointed at her head by one of these kidnappers. So
Then take her and go. You're married. You get her a fucking green card.
believe, because my wife told me that story that happened to her. She had a gun pointed to her face in 5th grade at school. And then they took one of those girls and they held her for ransom. Because her parents were like some higher up in Canada or something like that. Like probably nothing that special, I don't know, but like, because their parents were like foreigners. And now that's what they're trying to do to me. That's what these same people are planning and trying.
So go, leave, goodbye.
Have been planning to do to me.
Okay, so he tells this detailed story of exactly what he's afraid of. And then he's absolutely not keeping a low profile as he's the only white dude there who's live streaming daily. Then to make everything worse for himself, the last thing we know that he was doing for money was operating a quick cash payday lending business.
Oh, good. So he was operating one of those predatory payday loan company business things.
Which he admits to in this vlog.
Investing some money in our business this morning. We had a guy who we're investing some money with. He came by. He gave us the money that we lent him plus some profit. We gave him extra so that our money is coming back more next time.
So you go to a no-go red zone because the area is known for kidnapping and ransom. And then you start operating as a bank/payday lender. Then
That's shady as fuck. I'm sorry. You go to a place where it's all kidnapping and ransom and you open up a payday loan place.
broadcast it on the internet every day. Bless his heart.
Yeah, he's either stupid or he's playing the long game. And I think he might be stupid.
I hope he survives, but the odds are not stacked in his favor, especially if he was shot in the leg, presumably with an M16, because that's what was reported they had. Unless he was grazed, you're going to need a whole lot of medical attention to stop that bleeding and potentially a blood transfusion. You could Google the exit wounds. That's nothing pretty. And you would think if this was for ransom, why would they ever shoot him? Since, you know, if he's gone, they lose their bargaining chips. But the FBI, they've actually been on the scene already. So at least they're
It's hard to feel bad for him if I'm honest. It's not like he was unaware. He knows the area is dangerous, not just to him, but to locals too, and he stayed. I can't feel bad for him. No, I'm with you, Romeo. I'm with you.
interviewing the family and they're showing their presence and they currently have a person of interest, but that's really just where we're at right now. So he was kidnapped on the 17th and I'm recording this on the 22nd. So I mean he's been gone for what, 5 days roughly.
Yeah.
It's just depressing that
And today is the 25th, so that means 8 days now.
all of this could have easily been avoided. It's not worth going to a red zone for some clickbait. Your life is way more important than that. I guess
That's the problem with a lot of content creators now. especially the IRL ones, they want to risk their life or the lives of other people around them for clickbait. It's sad. It's very, very sad. I am being sent links. What am I being sent? What am I being sent here? Do 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 do. Tabbing through the. Too far. Too far. Ah. Jake Barr has a short. Okay, let's see.
Good morning.
What's this? What is this short? What is this short? I want to see what this short is.
Pick a scary movie.
Yes.
Don't worry about me.
Morning to everybody who is not in the U.S. military. I hope you go over there and get your little brain all scrambled up with PTSD.
Hey, Boo Bear Kitty Fuck, quick question.
Oh,
What's it feel like to
God.
have an acceptance kink that you know is never going to be fulfilled? You can come everywhere, but your own country, they don't fucking want you. They're doing their best impersonation of, golden years you, though. How many
Hey, I have this tablet. Can it stop a bullet? Let me hold it up to my face and test it. Oh, this pamphlet, not tablet.
phallic things are being launched at him? Oh, side note, it'd be rude of me to not point out, I'm not
It'd
saying
be
it's right,
rude.
I'm just saying you've had a whole lot of dick. What doesn't make sense to me is you are to the United States military what the Avenger cannon is to the A-10. Sure, it can still fly, but it's not nearly as dangerous without it. Some 19-year-old from Oklahoma has just had the worst day of his life. And what does he pull up to try to cheer himself up? That's right, Mia Khalifa 4, A Tale of Two Tunnels. I mean, those tunnels are probably collapsed now, but moving on. Post
Fuck, Jake. Holy shit. You are on fire with this. Okay, this hat is pissing me off.
clarity is great for morale. They tripled their KD the next day. So you can sit on your high cam all you want, but after a hard day on the job site and you brushed away all those undocumented children and loofed away the past, you were still a game changer. So get fucked, cunt. Merch links in bio. Okay, bye. Whoop.
Good morning to every.
That is funny. Mia Khalifa, nice. Yeah, okay, this hat, I have to either take my hair down or not wear the hat. So let's take my hair down. There we go. So we showed Young Frankenstein to the children yesterday. And they I don't think they got it. All right. Yeah, I don't think they got it. They're like, it's kind of funny. I'm like, kind of funny? What's the matter with you? Kind of funny. Marvel's Blade is toast, and that is a good thing. Oh.
Out of all the
Well, let's see. Let's see here. Let us take a look. Let's see what's going on. Let's watch.
Out of all the cinematic superheroes that have come and gone over the years, I've always had a real soft spot for Blades. At a time when comic book
Blade
movies
is
were
cool.
being Joel Schumachered into the ground in a blaze of campy neon silliness, Blade had the guts to be dark, violent, gritty, and R-rated, starring a Wesley Snipes who was at the apex of his career and giving us a cool, brooding anti-hero who made Batman look like a Rings of Power superfan.
God. damn, Drinker. What the
Goofy 90s CGI aside, it was great stuff that soon became a cult classic. It gave us bullet time a full year before The Matrix thought to do it, and in a lot of ways, it kicked off the modern era of more serious and legitimate comic book movies. Yeah, I know The Crow technically did it like 4 years earlier, but Blade was way more accessible to general audiences.
That is true. But The Crow is still awesome.
The 2002 sequel gave us a slicker, more refined product with better action scenes and a bigger cast. Yeah. Unfortunately, the third movie, Blade Trinity, turned out to be a bloated misfire that failed to capitalize on its momentum. I mean, damn man, it's probably worth watching for Jessica Biel alone, and it basically launched Ryan Reynolds' mainstream career, but it's
Oh, really? I forgot Ryan Reynolds was in
underwhelming box office combined with a troubled production was enough to bring the Blade franchise to a screeching halt. But hey, cometh the hour, cometh the greedy studio looking to capitalise on old IPs, and when Marvel bought back the rights to the Blade character in 2012, they got straight to work by sitting on it and doing nothing for the next 7 years. I mean, okay, to be fair, there was apparently some talk about Snipes reprising his role for a fourth movie in the mid-2010s, but
yeah, I remember that. I remember the whispers of that back in the 2010s.
It ultimately went nowhere and no director was ever attached to it. It would be 2019 before Marvel finally announced a rebooted Blade movie.
As opposed to a Staphylococcus body.
With Mahershala Ali attached to play the title role. And I'll be honest here, the announcement wasn't exactly met with thunderous applause.
I heard about this. The Blade remake is delayed indefinitely.
A lot of people were still very much attached to Wesley Snipes' version and were holding out hope for a fourth movie. And the idea of an R-rated character like Blade slotting into the family-friendly MCU felt about as natural as seeing Movie Bob at a salad bar.
He's not wrong.
The obvious worry was that they were going to neuter him to go for that mass market appeal and lose the very elements that made Blade so cool and unique. Yeah. As it turned out though, we didn't have to worry much about that because the movie was about to enter its very own production hell. Oh, no. Not much more was heard about Blade until 2021 when Stacey Osei Kuffour was hired to write the script.
Who?
And if that name sounds vaguely familiar to you, it's because she helped to write the god-awful Watchmen series that was so popular it got scrapped after one season.
Oh. I think you tuned Trinity out because of the roommate watching it on repeat. You're probably right. Thanks to his hard-on for Triple H.
Bassam Tariq was brought in to direct the movie, only to leave the project the following year over creative differences, forcing them to delay production. While they looked for a new director, they also decided to rewrite the script. Stacey was out and Beau DeMayo was brought in to replace her, and his big idea was to make the movie a period piece set in the 1920s.
Wait, why? Okay.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Anyway, funnily enough, he left and got replaced by Michael Starbury, now the third writer to work on the project.
Yes, because we all know that when a project has writer after writer after writer come in to work on it, it'll be a great story.
And good news, they'd found a new director. Yann Demange, a French filmmaker with a grand total of 2 movies to his name, was brought in to handle directing duties. By now, the year of our Lord was 2023, a full 4 years after the movie was announced, and they apparently still couldn't get the script nailed down. Eventually, Starbury left and got replaced by Nick Pizzolatto. The 1920s idea was scrapped and the project was moved back to the present day. Finally, they seemed to be making some progress. Then, the writer's strike happened, shutting them down again.
It's almost as if this movie just shouldn't exist.
Shit, man, if you told me that somewhere, somehow, a voodoo witch doctor had put a curse on this film, I would absolutely believe you because they just couldn't catch a break.
Yeah.
By late 2023, things were looking grim. Ali was getting frustrated with the project and threatening to walk away, and really, who could blame him? That same month, Variety revealed that the planned script would have been female-led, because of course it had to be.
Oh, of course. Yes, because a female lead in a Blade movie would just make perfect sense. Unless, what, you're gonna make Blade a female? Like, is that what we were gonna do?
It would have been all about girls learning important life lessons and would have seen Blade relegated to a fourth place character in his own movie.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Oh yeah, and the whole thing was supposed to be done for less than 100 million, which is less than half of what She-Hulk cost to make.
Really?
Real adult human beings actually thought that this was a viable idea. Just stop and think about that for a moment.
They can't do that, because that would mean they would have to actually... That would mean... Okay, that would mean they would have to retcon the entire comic book series to where Blade can actually die.
Mm.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Was.
What? I had to take my hair down.
Well, it's okay, Pyramid Head.
Well, fuck you. You're the one who said I should grow my hair out.
I didn't. I said if you want to, you should, because sometimes you want to, and you complain about your hair being too short. Especially in the winter, when your head gets cold because your hair is too short. Gee, it's almost like I give a shit.
I do need this little bit chopped off, though.
We can put this on you. You can do the rest of the stream like this.
Why? Why?
Because... Try to experiment? I don't know.
What is this?
It's a hockey mask. That is a Jason mask.
Oh.
It just has flower barrettes because you'll just enjoy going. What's the female Jason? Janice?
Huh?
Is Janice the female Jason?
Why is this like this?
It's a hockey mask. The question is, why is your hair like that? Why does your hair puff up like that? Now, you can't breathe in that, can you?
Yeah, I can. It's just my voice is bouncing back to me, and I don't.
I know you hate it. But yeah, the whole thing with the Blade thing. Yeah, I wish we had a Blade. I was trying to find a Blade thing. I don't have a Blade mask. I mean, you can sit with the sword. I mean, it is the demon sword. Like, we use that here. Tell you what, if you're talking about Blade, sit with the sword. Here you go. Okay. But no. Anyway, the whole thing. It's a plastic sword. But the whole thing is. The Blade thing, they would really have to retcon the entire thing to be Blade dies. Which, that would be quite interesting to see. But I haven't read the Blade comics, so someone will probably one day be screaming, "You fucking moron, they did kill Blade!" Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So if they did, they'd have to fast forward to that then. Proceed with that.
Okay, that's enough. By the end of the year, things were looking up. The strike was finally over and work could restart on the project. Pizzolatto left the production and Michael Green, who wrote Logan and Alien Covenant, was brought in as the fifth...
Logan was good, but so fucking sad.
Right. Unfortunately, by spring 2024, it all fell apart again when Demange decided he'd had enough of this shit and walked away. He was soon followed by Green, who got replaced by Eric Pearson, and they didn't even bother looking for a new director. By this point, Blade had been grinding on for 5 years and had now been through 6 writers and 2 directors.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to...
If anybody fucking sends in some Streamlabs donations, I'll wear a mask for the entire stream.
I skate uphill.
I'll wear the Jason
Damn man,
mask
this film's
for the
got a
whole
higher
stream.
body count than a liberal college girl. Anyway, this brings us at last to the end of our sordid tale, with the announcement a couple of days ago that the project had been delayed indefinitely, which is industry speak for shit canned. And really, based on everything I've heard about this fucking disaster of a movie, I think it's the best result for everyone. Nobody in their right mind wanted a Blade period piece set in the 1920s. Nobody wanted another bait and switch girl power wankfest where Blade's a background character in his own story. And nobody wanted some second-rate low-budget piece of MCU garbage that totally dishonors the legacy of a beloved character. I mean, you're telling me that you were happy to shell out hundreds of millions of dollars on pointless trash like Agatha, She-Hulk, and Echo, but you expect a Blade movie to be held together on a shoestring budget?
That is very distracting.
Honestly, the fact that they went through 5 years and 6 writers and still couldn't crack the character, despite having literally a trilogy of successful movies as their template, tells you exactly how little the Marvel of today understands what makes Blade work. I'd expect Mahershala Ali to walk away pretty soon too if the guy's got any common sense.
Yep.
He's wasted 5 years of his life trying to get this thing off the ground. He's 50 years old now, and that's not a great age to be launching a new superhero franchise that...
No. You kind of gotta shut or get off the pot.
Would probably mean signing up for the next decades. He's better off without Blade, and I think in retrospect, so are we. As old Wesley so rightly said,
"There's only been one Blade. There's only ever gonna be one Blade."
Oh yeah, and just before I go, I want to totally shill for myself by letting you know that brand new Critical Drinker and Critical Doggo plushies are available to pre-order now.
Yay! Okay. Well, before we jump into other things, I'm going to quickly do a bathroom break. And then we're going to jump into our Can Polly fun. So I'll be right back. I'm going to put on some music, share the stream far and wide. Let's get some more people in here. And hit up that Streamlabs link for Booba Fett. Streamlabs.com/blindpress/tip.
It's so fine, but you make it look easy. So much you can make a man green. So don't stop, go ahead and get freaky. You got me wanting to be with you. So sexy, I don't know what to do. Your curves are making my dreams come true. The way you should be taboo. Just getting body, you like a pro girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see your hot body. A hot body. Makes me wanna fall in love. Makes me wanna fall in love. Don't stop now, just get ready. Move like a pro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see your hot body. Your hot body, your hot body, your hot body, your hot body. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Checking out your moves as I walk through the door. Never seen a girl like you any before. Body like a goddess and you move on the floor. You're a soldier and you're ready for war. Got a lot of junk in the trunk, you're hardcore. I don't wanna stop, I want you to more. Cause you got a little something I just can't ignore. So go ahead, girl, take your time. Shake it like you need it, girl, let it all shine. Body like an hourglass, but it's so fine. And if you wanna kick it, girl, give me a sign. You are so in your mind. You're a masterpiece of best by design. And if you was a mountain, I'd be ready for the climb. And I'll be on the spot anywhere, anytime.
I'm terrified and loving it. No regrets to keep me up at night. Feel so alive and loving it. I'm just back, so I finally learned to fall. Left to cry for the fun of it. Now I finally see the light. Don't wanna waste a single minute. Now I finally have you, got you by my side. So let's hit the ground.
All right. Are we ready to get into the Canadian politics nonsense? Because I've got a bunch of stuff to go through here with that. We're going to look at, starting with Wednesday. I've got a few clips. Sorry about that. Question period. There we go. So, I've got a couple of different clips to show you. It's gonna be, we're gonna jump around a bit from Wednesday and Thursday's question period. Before we watch today's, I promise you we're not gonna watch 3 full episodes of question period. That would be insane. But yeah, we're gonna jump around a bit. So apparently on Wednesday, Justin Trudeau's caucus got together. There was 24 MPs that signed a letter that said, hey, we don't want you to be leader anymore. And still, somehow, after that meeting, we have this happen. Okay? Hold on, let me show you this.
20 sent out his immigration minister. Affordability, he wouldn't have voted for a carbon tax.
Where are we here? What
Free
happened?
shopping together, Mr.
Oh, I went to the wrong clip. I apologize. No, I didn't go to the wrong clip. It just jumped. Because they suck. It took me to my other clip that it was at. Okay, I'm sorry. It sometimes does this with me when I have several tabs open at of the same thing. It'll jump. It will jump several times around for me, and it's very annoying.
Even when repair what he has broken.
Okay. So we're gonna switch here. So Poilievre just spoke in French. Okay. Now we have Justin Trudeau standing up to this nonsense. I still want to know what he said.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this nonsense. What did he say? What did he say to them to get them to produce this ovation?
Mr. Speaker, the Liberal team, just like the Liberal government,
4 more years. Did you hear that? Wow. So somebody from Justin Trudeau's side shouted 4 more years. What did he say to them? What did he threaten them with? And watch this. So do you remember that Poilievre asked his question in French? That's important too.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I want to thank all members of this House for their rousing show of confidence. I have to say, the Liberal Party, as is the Liberal government, totally united on holding the Conservative Party to account for the fact that they want to cut programs, cut services, cut initiatives that will help Canadians grow the economy, keep inflation down, and make sure there's a strong, prosperous future for all Canadians. That's what we're focused on. While Conservatives focus on petty politics, we'll stay focused on delivering for Canadians.
That's how he answered the question that was posed to him in French. So Polyev asked the question in French. He answered that way in English, and he got some sort of rousing standing ovation that I still don't know how he managed to convince them all to give him one. When the entire House, or 24 Liberal MPs didn't want him around anymore, doesn't want his leadership, and it got better. It got way better in question period. We have more from Trudeau and I apologize, more from Trudeau and Polyev here. I will show you this clip right here.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
24 Liberal MPs went to his caucus today to tell him that he's not worth the crime, cost, or corruption. They wanted to tell him that he's doubled housing costs, doubled the national debt, sent 2 million people to the food banks.
Notice how they're laughing about this? That Polyev is pointing this out and the Liberal MPs are laughing.
Tell him that he's doubled housing costs, doubled the national debt, sent 2 million people to the food banks. But he wouldn't let them. He silenced half of the dissidents. In fact, some were intimidated so much so that even Rosemary Barton, the Prime Minister's favorite journalist, said people don't have phones in the room and some people are going to the bathroom texting us. Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister text those dissident Liberal MPs, tell them to come out of the bathroom and tell the whole world that he's not worth the cost?
Now, that is a very damning statement. And if that's true, that is huge. That there were Liberal MPs leaving the room to go text journalists from the bathroom. Like, that is a huge problem for Trudeau. He's got a lot of problems going on in his caucus. So that's why I'm wondering, what happened? Where did he get this where did he get them to give him this standing ovation from?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, in our caucus, people have always been free to speak their mind.
Oh, fuck off.
What is interesting, Mr. Speaker, is nobody in the Conservative caucus seems to have spoken out when one of their members got an all-expenses-paid trip to an extreme anti-abortion church in
an extreme anti-abortion church. That's a weird string of words.
Got an all-expenses-paid trip to an extreme anti-abortion church in Florida. Nobody spoke out. Well, one of the members on their front bench went and dined with white nationalists, far-right German nationalists.
Which front bencher went and dined with them? Which front bencher is that?
And nobody spoke up and is continuing to speak up when their leader refuses to get a security clearance so he can deal with foreign interference.
Because if he gets a frickin' security clearance, then he will not be able to call you out for your bullshit, Trudeau, and you know it.
The chair is knowing that today is Wednesday.
The abortion church.
Oh, shut up.
The chair is knowing that today is Wednesday, has been relatively tolerant of a lot of calls from both sides of the House. I'm going to ask members, please, to please not take the floor until they are addressed by the Speaker.
Oh, on you, Fergus. You're letting your bias show ridiculously. Ridiculously, you're letting your bias show. And it's pathetic. we now move on to our next clip, our 10 minutes into this shenanigans of a shit show. And I'd like to just play it for you. There's so much to unpack. I'm gonna go through it as it happens.
I recognize that the Prime Minister is distracted, but there's a recent survey that's come out that shows that over half of Canadians.
Where are we here? It jumped back. Hold on. So we're gonna listen to Jagmeet Singh here.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. That are always expression. That's not at all its jurisdiction. And
sorry,
Distracted.
There we
reflects our values as Canadians and Quebecers.
The Honourable Member from Burnaby South.
Oh, let me make sure we're on the share or the live screen. Okay, here we go.
I recognize that the Prime Minister is distracted, but there's a recent survey that's come out that shows that over half of Canadians are having a hard time with the cost of groceries. Now, too many in this chamber are more worried about themselves than kids going to sleep hungry in our country.
Oh, shut up, Singh. You don't care about kids going to sleep hungry in this country either.
Why has this Prime Minister refused to take action on painful food prices?
Here, here, here. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we have taken action and we'll take more action.
We have taken action? Like, oh my God. We have taken action, Mr. Speaker? Like, lots of it?
Move forward on increasing competition rules so that the Competition Bureau can go after people who are and companies that are gouging Canadians, at the same time as we're delivering more supports, whether it's with the National School Food Program that's putting more money in the
Yes, that gives bread, butter, bananas, and milk.
Pockets of families by
nutritious.
giving them breaks on their groceries so kids can actually eat healthy foods at schools, or delivering a Canada Carbon rebate. Unfortunately, that Canada Carbon rebate that puts more money in families' pockets has just seen the NDP pull their support from it, even though it's helping Canadians with affordability.
Oh, terrible, says somebody next to the
And we will continue to be there to fight climate change.
Now listen to what Singh says to him. I don't like Singh, but listen to this. It's funny.
Then I have the
Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
Have you ever been to a grocery store?
Exactly. Has he ever been to a grocery store?
People are losing hope.
And watch the speaker. Watch.
order.
Shut up, children.
Order, please.
Shut up, I said.
I'll invite the Honourable Member from Burnaby South to start from the top, and let me just encourage the Honourable Member and all Honourable Members to make sure that your questions and comments are directed through the Chair.
Okay, watch what he's... Watch how he rewords this.
The Honourable Member from Burnaby South.
Has the Prime Minister actually ever been to a grocery store?
I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't like Jagmeet Singh, but that was funny.
People are losing hope. The Angus Reid study shows that over 40% of renters have given up on the dream of owning their own home. The Conservatives cut housing construction in Canada and let 800,000 affordable housing units disappear. The Liberals had 9 years. Why hasn't the Prime Minister repaired that damage?
That's a valid point. If you feel the Conservatives have done a bad job, why have you not repaired what you claim that they broke in the 9 years that you've been in Parliament?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Both questions a leader of the NDP had. I've actually been to a grocery store with you, Mr. Speaker, in your riding a few years ago in Hull Elmer.
Oh my God. Mr. Speaker.
And I've been to many grocery stores since.
I've been to a lot of grocery stores. Not for myself, of course. I don't shop for groceries. That's what my hired help's there for. But I go to grocery stores all the time for photo ops.
In terms of housing, Mr. Speaker, we have created a program to invest in housing, affordable housing across our country, with more than $900 million for Quebec, and we continue to invest to ensure affordable housing. While the Conservative Party is just offering cuts in housing programs, we're going to continue to invest to help Canadians with affordable housing.
So that was, hold on, let me close this. There we go. Oh, perfect. This pulls us up to our next clip, which is exactly what I need. Always nice to hear my take on the Joker. That's funny. All right, now let's hear what our next clip is.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I think the leader of the Conservative Party shouldn't be bragging that none of his MPs have asked him to get a security clearance so that he can actually protect his party from foreign interference. That none of his MPs have spoken out. That having one of their members go down to Florida on an all-expenses-paid trip by an extreme anti-abortion church is...
Again, which member? Which member are you talking about? You keep saying these things, but there's like no proof.
None of his MPs have spoken out. That having one of their members go down to Florida on an all-expenses-paid trip by an extreme anti-abortion church is just fine for all of the...
I go to the store 2 times a week, mostly just to get out of the house.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The leader of the Conservative Party shouldn't be bragging that none of his MPs have asked him to get a security clearance so that he can actually protect his party from foreign interference. That none of his MPs have spoken out. That having one of their members go down to Florida on an all-expenses-paid trip by an extreme anti-abortion church is just fine for all of their MPs. And that, quite frankly, none of them have any issue with a member on their front bench.
It was all expenses paid. Did the Conservative Party pay all the expenses? Did the taxpayer pay all the expenses? Or was it all expenses paid by the... What the hell was that? Or was it all expenses paid by the people who they went to see? And also, again, how can you prove that? What fucking fell? Ugh. Oh, you're visiting family in the U.S. Cool.
Dining with a neo-Nazi. Mr. Speaker,
Who
issue with
dined
a
with
member
a
on their
neo-Nazi?
front bench dining with a neo-Nazi. Mr. Speaker, I would hope some of his members in his caucus would speak up about some of the problems.
And ask the Honourable Member from Wellington Halton Hills to please not speak out of turn.
Oh, look, you're calling out a Conservative member again. Isn't that fucking...
During this question, he's an honourable and very well-respected member. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister, who has a lifelong record of racist outbursts, is now coming unglued on the floor of the House of Commons. The question was about the unglued on the floor of the House of Commons. The question was about the 24 Liberal MPs in his caucus that are trying to speak out against his quadrupling of the carbon tax, not because they care about the cost of living of their constituents, but because they're worried they're going to lose the election. So if the Prime Minister is so confident in quadrupling the carbon tax, why won't he call a carbon tax election now?
Because he's not confident in it. He knows he's going to lose. But he doesn't want to lose what he has. So he's just going to put us in stalemate.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our price on pollution not only decreases emissions and helps fight climate change.
It decreases emissions and helps fight climate change. How? How does pouring more money into... I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. How does taking money out of the pockets of Canadians and putting it into the bank account of the government make climate change less changey?
But it grows the economy and investments, and it puts more money in the pockets of middle-class Canadians from coast to coast to coast. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, what we've seen from the Parliamentary Budget Officer is that Canada Carbon Rebate puts more money back in the pockets of Canadian families than it costs them in the federal price on pollution. And that is exactly what the Leader of the Opposition wants to cut. He wants to cut affordability for Canadians. He wants to cut the fight against...
What affordability? It hasn't been affordable for quite some time. In fact, since his government was in power last.
Climate change. That's not how you build a strong future.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Taxes and housing costs. Now, on that subject, the Prime Minister created a $4 billion so-called housing accelerator that gave hundreds of millions of dollars to big city politicians across the country.
Toronto, Vancouver. Magically, a lot of cities with Liberal MPs in them. It was very interesting.
Toronto got the money.
Yeah.
And construction went down 20%.
Yep.
Winnipeg got the money. Construction went down 15%. Vancouver got the money. Construction went down 19%. Ottawa got the money. Construction went down 10%.
So, Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Ottawa, all cities with Liberal MPs / mayors.
Speaker, when I was the housing minister, we built 194,000 homes. Why won't he follow my common sense?
They're yelling 6 again.
Example.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The member opposite was Stephen Harper's failed housing minister. He built 6 affordable housing units across the country. So we'll take no lessons from them on housing. They would rather pick fights rather than invest in the kinds of changes that are improving density and zoning using...
Density? We don't need density in housing. We just need, housing. Why don't we just fix the houses that are abandoned?
Public lands, accelerating red tape so that people can get more affordable housing built quicker right across the country.
Exactly,
it takes actions and investments to build up this country. That's exactly what we're doing in responsible ways. All he's offering is fights with the provinces and municipalities and cuts to services Canadians rely on.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he just accidentally told the truth. He said he's accelerating red tape. He sure is doing that, but he's not accelerating his math lessons. He's always admitted that he's been bad with numbers. I have the documents from Stats Canada's website. That's part of his government that shows that in 2015, there were 461,000 housing completions.
He's looking at a piece of paper from StatsCan. It's almost like he's got a fact.
And the average rent was only $973 for a one-bedroom, half of what it is today. Given that I delivered so many affordable homes, why won't the Prime Minister follow my common sense plan to build the homes, not the bureaucracy?
I love how the Liberal MPs are laughing at the fact that that there were that many houses built and that rent was that low. They're just laughing. They're just laughing. Now, I'd like to move on to yesterday's question period. Now, yesterday, Poilievre wasn't there. It was Andrew Scheer and the other conservative people. Melissa Lantsman was also there. And the immigration minister and the housing minister took the brunt of the questions yesterday. And so we are going to go through those now. And we are going to take a look at just how unhinged not just Justin Trudeau is, but all of his ministers are right now. We are going to take a look and see just how insane this is. This is Andrew Scheer and the immigration minister, I believe.
Do the next best thing and call a carbon tax election so Canadians can decide.
Oh no, this is the Minister for Gender Equality. Sorry.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to share some facts, if I might. I stand here as the Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Youth, and I wonder if this ministry will even exist if Conservatives...
Talking about the same immigration...
Oh, God damn it. Why the fuck does it do that? Okay, so... Let me back up here.
To survivors of...
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to share some facts, if I might. I stand here as the Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Youth, and I wonder if this ministry will even exist if Conservatives were to gain power.
Yeah, today was, or not today, yesterday was the day of the Conservatives are going to cut everything under the sun. We're just going to, like, anything we can think of, they're gonna cut.
The facts. Conservatives will cut services to survivors of gender-based violence. They'll cut critical supports for women entrepreneurs. They'll cut life-saving...
Yes, they're gonna look specifically at businesses run by women. And they're gonna be like, let's shut these down. These damn bitches don't deserve to have a business.
Support for grassroots organizations. They will cut pharmacare and contraceptives for women. We on this side of the House stand for women and gender diverse people. They do not. Straight facts, Mr. Speaker.
I don't stand for anybody that calls themselves a gender diverse person. How's that?
The Honourable Member from Regina Capel.
That is baseless and false. We're going to cut the carbon tax, eliminate it, and defund the CBC and put that savings back in taxpayers' pockets. But consider where we are. It's actually kind of amazing. Liberal MPs are so frustrated that they're not allowed to speak in caucus, they're actually confiding in Conservatives.
Yeah, they've gone to Poilievre. They've asked Poilievre to ask questions in question period. That's how bad it's gotten. But yet, nobody on the Liberal side wants to admit this. It's getting so bad that backbenchers are signing letters and going to the opposition to get the opposition to talk for them.
They have to sneak out to the bathroom to have therapy text sessions with journalists.
Yep.
And cabinet ministers call their own colleagues garbage because they're speaking out against the Prime Minister's terrible record.
Yep.
He's losing control. He's losing confidence. He lost the plot a long time ago. So for the love of all that's holy, will he finally call a carbon tax election?
So that's Andrew Scheer's question. Okay. Here's the response from the Minister of Immigration.
The Honourable Minister for...
Leader of the opposition, the leader of the...
No, it's not immigration yet.
Honourable Minister for...
Leader of the opposition. opposition, the leader of the Conservatives, would do if he was the Prime Minister? He would cut things like the Canada Summer Jobs Program, Mr. Speaker.
See? Do you see what I'm talking about? They're just coming up with different shit. They're like, he'd cut summer jobs. He'd cut pharmacare. He would cut the female gender equality ministry. He would cut down all the trees in the country because they hate climate change.
Something that exists in every one of our communities that is so important to employers and so important to kids. Mr. Speaker, do you think that we would be able to maintain our progress on clean water? He would cut funding to First Nations dependent on a real and fair, equitable solution.
Peut-être on devrait juste prendre une petite pause.
Perhaps we'll take just a quick second so that people can reflect on the fact that you must not take the floor if you have not been recognized by the speaker.
Yes, everybody needs to reflect on the fact that you shouldn't be speaking unless spoken to. Okay, now we're gonna get into the immigration minister. We're gonna get into him just coming completely unglued and talking more about what the Conservatives would cut if they were in power.
The honourable member from Calgary Shepherd.
After 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, time is up, and now even excuses are up. The Prime Minister now admits he destroyed Canada's immigration system and the 150-year immigration consensus. He can't fix what he broke. He can't fix immigration. He can't fix housing or anything else right now because he's fighting his own caucus. So instead of blaming everyone else, including immigrants like myself, will he just admit that he shattered the immigration system and caused lasting damage to Canada's housing market, healthcare, and jobs?
He did, though. He absolutely did. There's no denying that he broke all of those things.
The Honourable Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Refugees.
Thank you, Monsieur le Président. Look, I was flabbergasted to hear the Leader of the Opposition's answer today, the most immature answer on immigration that I've ever heard. He's late to the game. He's so late to the game on this, he hasn't even come up with a slogan yet. So when he comes up with a slogan, perhaps we'll take the chance to respond. But what we propose is a plan for controlled migration. We're proud of it. It serves Canadians well.
Except you've had 9 years to come up with this plan. Why are you coming up with this plan now? When everybody has told you for years that your plan isn't working. And you've refused to change it until everybody is threatening you with an election.
The Honourable Member
Yuck. Laugh it up, MPs.
from Calgary Shepherd.
Thank you, Speaker. It's rich coming from that particular minister who called 24 Liberal MPs garbage because they're looking after their own careers and worried they're not going to make it. They're not going to be here after the next election because their own constituents are going to send them
with a slogan.
Oh, God damn it.
caucus fix housing or anything else right now because he's fighting like Mr.
Thank you. Opposition's answer today, the most immature.
Sorry.
Looking after
there we go.
Their own careers and worried they're not going to make it. They're not going to be here after the next election because their own constituents are going to send them to the unemployment line. Now, this Prime Minister is reckless, and he even said it himself. He didn't get it right. He said it during his own press conference. He didn't get it right on immigration. He didn't get it right on housing. He can't get it right on the carbon tax. So,
but he's going to be the best person to lead the charge against Pierre Poilievre.
Will the Prime Minister just admit that his flip-flop has destroyed the immigration system and accept his own personal failure?
The Honourable Minister for Immigration, Refugees and
What I said,
Citizenship.
Mr. Speaker, is that it's garbage to focus on anything other than the circus clown that he's supporting.
Yeah, that's parliamentary. Let's go back and listen to that again because he spoke really quick.
The Honourable Minister for Immigration, Refugees and
What I said,
Citizenship.
Mr. Speaker, is that it's garbage to focus on anything other than the circus clown that he's supporting.
So yeah, that is the answer that the immigration minister just gave to the impassioned speech from the member opposite. I love how the MPs from the opposite sides always go oh like the Family Guy Italians. It's really funny.
Order. I'm going to invite the Honourable Minister to please withdraw that comment that was unparliamentary towards another member of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the comment.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the comment. Fine. You bastard. Made me withdraw the stupid quip I made. I was proud of that quip.
Thank you. The Honourable Member from Oxford.
So that was that clip that I wanted to show you. And now I'd like to show you his interaction with Melissa Landsman.
The distraction would like to distract from.
And head to Canada. I didn't hear it.
The former immigration minister and the MP from Central Nova oversaw population growth in this country of 200% over the past several years. He lost track of the
I want to walk through there with the big stick from the British Parliament.
people that he let in. Worse, he saw international students living in homeless shelters or with 14 roommates in a basement, all while he ignored his department's advice on it was too much and too fast. Watching the impact of these failed policies on housing, the Prime Minister said, "That's my guy for housing." Why did the Prime Minister promote this guy instead of firing him?
Because Trudeau only promotes men that do shit like that and gets rid of women who stand up to him, because that's what male feminists do. That's
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Speaker, the opposition would like to distract from the issues that actually matter most to Canadians. They focus these days on caucus unity. I would actually point out she sits just a few seats down from a colleague who just a few years ago she criticized for casting aspersions on the LGBTQ2+ community.
Which colleague is that? Which colleague? Spit it
When
out.
it comes to the work that we're actually doing to get the homes built, we are doing everything we can to build more affordable housing. When their leader was actually in the position of housing minister, he got only 6 affordable housing units built across the entire country. We're going to focus on what matters to Canadians, not the distractions that they try to put on the floor of the House of Commons.
I feel like I'm watching. You remember that movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and the demon kept counting to 6 all the time? I feel like I'm watching that movie every time the Liberals talk about Poilievre's housing construction.
The Honourable Member from Thornhill.
195,000 was the number, and that's a number that minister would only dream of building because some people fail upwards. Even Canada's current immigration minister said, quote, "It's really a system that has gotten out of control." He was talking about the same immigration system controlled by the new housing guy who lost track of the people who he let in and is now laughably in charge of fueling the housing crisis that the Prime Minister created. The Prime Minister can't possibly fix housing or immigration or anything else because he's fighting his own caucus. So if the Prime Minister won't fire this guy, will he resign in disgrace?
God damn, Melissa Landsman. Holy shit. She is
The Honourable
on
Minister of
fire.
Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, my feelings. Look, they're going to be disappointed to know that I spend no time or energy thinking about the insults they hurl at me. What concerns me is the insults that they hurl at Canadians. But I do have news for the honourable member, because she stated a fact that needs to be dispelled. 6 is the number of affordable housing units that the government helped build. They're trying to take credit for the number of homes that Canadians build. But Mr. Speaker, here's the kicker, and I've got news. That number, if we accept it as the right metric, is the worst record of any housing minister in the last 10 years.
Is it? Is it though? Because how many houses have you built? Like, actually built. I don't mean like housing starts. I mean, how many houses have you actually built, Sean Fraser?
If they want a prize for their leaders' efforts, it's the prize for biggest loser.
And that's apparently an acceptable thing to say. Listen.
The prize for their leaders is the record of any housing minister in the last 10 years. If they want a prize for their leaders' efforts, it's the prize for biggest loser.
Yeah, how is that acceptable to say?
The honourable member from Central Okanagan, Similkameen Nicola.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years...
So that's that clip. I wanted to show you that's the bullshit that's been happening in question period yesterday and Wednesday. We're gonna skip through this one today because it was all backbenchers central. So we're not going to do the entire question period, and then we're going to watch a couple more videos, and then we're going to end things off. So let's take a quick gamble, or a quick look here.
Oral questions. Questions orales. L'honorable député.
The honourable member for Bellechasse, Les Etchemins, Lévis. 24 Liberal MPs are asking the Prime Minister to step aside. For the same reason, by the way, that Canadians are calling for elections. Cost of living is up, there are long wait lines at food banks, housing is unaffordable, the debt has doubled. But there's something that I don't understand. The people who should be supporting the Prime Minister are dropping him, but the Bloc Québécois persists in maintaining him in power. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has failed. He has failed when it comes to immigration in particular. Will he call elections now?
Nope. Nope, they're going to make us wait till October if they can.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Merci, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One thing is clear. Yes, the Conservative Party has talked a lot about the problems that we're facing in the country right now.
Well, yeah. Of course they've talked a lot about the problems we're facing in the country right now. That's their fucking job, you moron.
Spoke about the challenges that people are facing. And she speaks about them every day, but where's the plan? They're clear on the first step, but they don't have a plan after that, Mr. Speaker. This is an example of how the Conservative Party is a populist party, a right-wing party.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 really? You're gonna call them a right-wing party, okay.
The honourable member for Bellechasse, Les Etchemins, Lévis. After 9 years of this Liberal government, the country is in chaos. 2 million Canadians are relying on food banks for food, and everyone is affected by homelessness. And 24 Liberal MPs want the Prime Minister to go. Parliament is paralysed right now because the government refuses to be transparent in another scandal. The Bloc has supported the government 200 times. They need to explain themselves to Quebecers. Is the Prime Minister ready to do the honourable thing and call elections? That's the plan, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. The backbenchers are stepping up. All right, then. Okay.
The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for my honourable colleague, and she's right that Canadians are going through a difficult time. But Mr. Speaker, where was she? Where was she when we voted to support seniors? Where was she? And
she was reading the bill all the way through and seeing the shit you tacked on at the end.
her caucus when we lower taxes for Canadians? Where was she when we put in place a dental care program for Canadians? Mr. Speaker, I know what that member and all Conservatives did. They voted against. They voted against Canadians. We are there for all Canadians and all Quebecers. The Honourable Member for Bellechasse, Lisa Chemin-Lévis. Where were those 24 MPs, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the rise in the cost of housing, the use of food banks, and, the housing encampments that we're seeing?
Oh my God.
All of this.
God, I hate French translators. They stumble.
This is the disastrous
so
record of the Liberals
Some of them are
supported by the
better
Bloc
than
Québécois.
others, but-
And now the immigration system once again is failing because of Liberal improvisation on that file.
Yep.
This Prime Minister needs to call elections. When is he going to do it? The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary. Mr. Speaker, what I'm concerned about is the growing caucus against abortion in the Conservative Party.
Oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again with the abortion bullshit. It's not going anywhere. We are not freaking touching that type of thing. That's why do they do this?
We've heard from Conservatives who are still in caucus, and we've heard from previous caucus members that it's because of their values. Well, on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we will always fight for women's rights like for abortion.
Yes, because that's a right. An abortion is okay. Not that it's a choice, it's a right. Okay.
The Honourable Member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
Oh, I like this guy.
After 9 years of these NDP Liberals, the cost of housing has doubled, our national debt has doubled, and Canadians can't afford to feed themselves or their families. Now we've learned that there are 24 Liberal MPs who are looking for the Prime Minister to resign. After 9 years of these NDP Liberals, taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, and time is up for this Prime Minister who can't fix what he's broken in this country while he's dealing with his revolting caucus. So will he stand up today and call a carbon tax election?
No, I bet you he's not even there.
The Honourable Minister for Indigenous Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And for years we've been hearing rumors about the Conservative Party of Canada's leader, and now it's out in the open. His party is full of people fighting to restrict the freedom of women.
Oh my God. Is this gonna be the entire fucking day? This is gonna be the entire day, isn't it? It's gonna be, they want to restrict they want to restrict the rights of women. They want to restrict the rights of women.
The MP for Richmond-Athabasca, former member, acted with his conscience to stand up for women. But why won't the other members of his caucus do the same? In fact, what they're doing, Mr. Speaker, is fraternizing with the lobbyists that want to attack the rights of women.
I can't even continue this lie because it's so much bullshit that I don't even know what I'm saying.
Across this country.
The Honourable Member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
Well, did you hear that? It's the sound of desperation from a government that's broken absolutely everything in this country. They broke housing, they broke immigration. Canadians can't afford to eat, heat, or house themselves after 9 years of these failed NDP Liberals. And all Canadians want is to be able to afford a home, to be able to have a home in a good, safe neighborhood where they can retire comfortably. And all they're asking to do is to be able to work hard in exchange for that privilege. It was a promise we made to Canadians, and they broke it.
Yep.
So instead of fighting with his 24 members who want him to resign, why won't he stand up and call a carbon tax election?
Because he's a coward. And a narcissist.
The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I can assure my honourable colleague that we understand the challenges that families are experiencing in our communities, but
the challenges, The challenges.
Families are right to ask who is actually fighting for them. The seniors who have earned their pensions, not just but their premiums, with decades of hard work, bad backs, busted joints, are facing an opposition leader who has decades of hard work, bad backs, busted joints, are
What was that? Was that a laugh?
Not just with their premiums, with decades of hard work, bad backs, busted joints, are facing an opposition leader who has a
I swear that was him laughing. Bad backs, busted joints.
history of gutting their pensions. The Conservative Party has members who voted against removing the interest on student loans. And families, if you receive the Canada Child Benefit, know that there is not one Conservative member of Parliament who voted to support you with thousands of dollars every year.
Except the Conservatives created the never mind. I'm not going to say
Mr.
it
Speaker,
again.
there are two choices. A Liberal government who will stand up for families, a Conservative leader who will stand up for himself.
The Honourable Member for Saint Jean.
Okay,
No
let's
Conservative
skip
Minister
through some of the French stuff.
of the short term.
Price of care. This is bringing more people in.
Relieve pressure on housing and infrastructure. The Honourable Member for New Westminster Burnaby.
5 million Canadians are left stranded without the health care they need. This is bringing more people into our already overcrowded hospitals for issues that could have been caught earlier and treated earlier. Our health care continues to be in crisis under the Liberals. And the Conservatives want Canadians to pay to get the care they need so that CEOs can increase their profits. People deserve quality health care without having to pull out their credit cards. Why are the Liberals failing to fix our health care system and forcing people to scramble for the health care they need? That's right.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health.
Of course, it's mostly
Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we will always stand for a publicly funded healthcare system, and that's why we're making unprecedented investment in our system, working with our provinces and territories. Over $200 billion over 10 years. We've never seen that kind of investment. Not to mention investments in dental care, investment in farmer care. These are the kind of things that we're doing, building our healthcare system post-pandemic so that no Canadian is left behind and they have access to...
No Canadian left behind. Is that like no child left behind? Because that didn't work out very well. That whole no child left behind thing didn't work out very well. Is this what this is similar
publicly
to?
funded healthcare system.
The Honourable Member from Winnipeg Centre.
Mr. Speaker, while the Liberals talk about abortion as a right but deny access to that right, Conservatives are actively voting for legislation to end safe, trauma-informed abortion care.
What the fuck are you even talking about, lady?
Your former caucus members who says anti-choice MPs are calling the shots. Whether you need heart surgery, a knee surgery, or an abortion, people have a right to access public health care. Will the federal government protect access to abortion care by enforcing the Canada Health Act and save our public health care system?
Abortion is not part of the Canada Health Act. Like, come on.
The Honourable Minister for Indigenous Services.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I woke up and I read the most disturbing article. It was an interview, actually, with the former Member of Parliament with the Conservatives, now Member of Parliament for Richmond Athabasca, and he said that he left the party in part because his conscience couldn't stand for the attack on women's rights and freedom.
The attack on women's rights and freedom. Bullshit. Yeah, that's that's why there's a female deputy shadow cabinet leader, right?
The inroads that anti-abortionists have made with the Conservative Party. And you know what was so upsetting, Mr. Speaker? Not that he talked about that, but that he also alleged the way that they're trying to hide their real selves. Mr. Speaker, will that leader stand...
Oh shit, are you actually accusing them of fucking lying about how they actually feel about abortion and then oh wow, that's damning. Like, to actually accuse somebody of hiding their true belief system and then voting accordingly after getting into power, that is a very strong allegation.
Stand up and stand firmly with the rights of women in this country.
The Honourable Member from Stormonton, South Glengarry.
After 9 years of NDP Liberals, time is up for the Prime Minister's endless chaos and failures. And let's use his own words on immigration just from last year to prove it. quote, as our government is raising immigration levels to the highest levels that have ever been, people are like, we're already facing challenges in housing. Where are we going to house these 500,000 people per year? And now, a year too late, the Prime Minister made an announcement that is an admission of a massive failure of his record after 9 years. Will the Prime Minister admit that his flip-flop has caused lasting damage to Canada's housing market, healthcare, and jobs?
Nope.
The Honourable Minister for Employment and Workforce Development.
Mr. Speaker, we've answered that question already this week. My question, and a question that Canadians from the queer community...
We've answered that question. Oh, wait. Did he just
We've
say
answered
what I
that
think
question
he just
already
said?
this week. My question, and a question that Canadians from the queer community want to know, is where was that member, who is a member of the queer community, when it came to 50% of kids living in the street who are LGBT because their straight parents kicked them out? Where's that member when Brian Higgs went after trans kids in New Brunswick? Where's that member when Danielle Smith is saying she's going to take the rights of trans kids away? Where's that member when Scott Moe is focusing on bathrooms in a Saskatchewan election? He will not show up at Canadian Pride events when we talk about trans issues. He should be ashamed. He is not defending the queer community of Canada.
Did you almost say he's not an actual member of the... I swear.
Issues, he should be ashamed. He is not defending the queer community of Canada.
I swear that he almost said he is not actually a queer member of the queer community of Canada. Oh my god.
The Honourable Member from Stormont Dunn.
LOL. His name was Poissonalit. He is a fish talk.
South Glengarry.
I'm proud of who I am and proud of my integrity when that minister can't even name the other Randy. So I'm not going to take any lectures from that guy, Mr. Speaker. But here's what the Prime Minister said just last year about the immigration system. Quote, there are a lot of pressures on our system, increasing the immigration levels. Interestingly, though, it'll take some pressure off the system. They have absolutely failed, and they broke our immigration system. They've doubled housing costs, and they did a massive flip-flop yesterday that they're embarrassed to even talk about. After 9 years, why can't we just have a carbon tax election to boot that member and this government out of here?
You can't be gay if you can't be a proper gay if you're conservative. You can't be a proper queer if you're a conservative queer.
The Honourable Member for Employment and Workforce Development.
Where's that member's voice and the members of the Conservatives when queer refugees are struggling to come to this country? I'll tell you, they are nowhere to be found. Where is that member sticking up for trans kids when we have Canadian Pride caucus meetings?
Holy fuck. This is pathetic.
Not to be found. Neither is the MP for Thornhill. Mr. Speaker, they try to wrap themselves in the rainbow flag when it's convenient to get Conservative votes. They are simply not truthful with Canadians. They are not truthful with the queer community. Do you hear the heckling, Mr. Speaker?
Oh my
they can't
God.
handle it when we punch.
He's actually saying they're not really queer. Holy shit. Holy shit. He's actually legitimately saying that Melissa Landsman and the member for Glengarry and others are not actually queer because they're conservative. Wow. Wow.
They can't handle when we stick up for the queer community. They do not stick up for the 2S LGBTQ community. We do. We're liberals. We're the government. We've got kids' backs.
We do. We're liberals. We're the government. You may as well just go, so there.
Colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. The Honourable Member. Colleagues.
Children.
The Honourable Member from Calgary, Nose Hill.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the reality is that it was this government who fought tooth and nail for an extension of the Rainbow Railroad refugee program that was started under the former Harper Conservative government, and all the while they allowed countless people who are in upstate New York to illegally cross the border.
Yep.
That is the record of this government's broken immigration system. And if he wants to talk about queer youth or any Canadian, the reality is that this government's inflationary crisis is what is putting people out on the streets.
Yep.
They've broken Canada's immigration system. Will they allow for a carbon tax election to allow Conservatives to fix their mess?
There you go. There you go. That deserved sanctions. It did. It absolutely did. And nothing happened because Fergus is a spineless asshole. That was absolutely pathetic.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health.
Speaker, immigration is key to economic growth of
Did you
Canada.
just say it was
Speaker,
key?
immigration is key.
He did.
The Secretary to the Minister of Health.
Speaker, immigration is key to economic growth of Canada.
It's Cree to the economic growth of Canada. Okay.
This
All right,
country
then.
is full of incredible story of immigrants. One speaking right now of a country that has welcomed people from around the world. But the government has always taken a very responsible approach to immigration to make sure that Canada continues to grow. And that's exactly
What
the
are
kind of
you
responsible
saying?
approach we're demonstrating. The work we did to bring
The craziest thing about this is, like I just said in chat. So I was scrolling through Reddit, and on the r/Toronto,
Yeah.
there was an ad for a room, because you know there's always rooms for rent. Okay, you're talking about a room this big.
Yeah.
Think splitting it in half and making it into 2 individual rooms for $1,000 or $1,250 a side.
Fuck that.
That's what they're doing in Toronto. And then, on top of that, they're coming out, and in the advertisements for them, they're specifically saying, some of them are advertising, some of them are advertising that it's actually to share the bed.
Oh.
Okay. The other ones are advertising Gujuru only, so only people from India, from East India, only specific races are allowed to apply. Some of them specifically say looking for female, and then it says we are 6 men.
Ah.
Yeah. These are legitimate ads. It's terrifying. I'm glad we live here.
Me too.
bring immigrants so that we can keep Canada moving forward during the pandemic, and the work we're doing now so that we can keep up with pace of Canadian population growth, housing we need, and the infrastructure Canadians deserve.
The honourable member from Calgary Nose Hill.
Yep. A responsible approach to immigration. The former immigration minister bragged about increasing international student permits from about 400,000 to 500,000, knowing that shady universities were abusing these students and that these students were living under bridges in Toronto.
Literally
That's the
under
record of this
bridges.
government. This
Under
government, they're
bridges, like 3-4 to a room. Like it.
Responsible approach the member talks about. They dropped security clearance certificates from their own background checks for temporary residences. There's nothing responsible about this government. Will they allow for a carbon tax election so that Conservatives can fix Canada's broken immigration system?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health.
Why
is the Secretary?
It's always rich to hear from Conservatives when they talk about
the Minister of Health.
Well, it's always always rich to hear from Conservatives when they talk about fake colleges. I hope the member opposite is calling her Premier Danielle Smith to make sure that those fake colleges are not getting credentials. Or I hope the Ontario members are calling Doug Ford to let them know that they should not be accrediting fake colleges. On this side of the House, Speaker, we will always make sure that we are taking a responsible approach. Immigration is important for Canada. We did so during the pandemic, and moving forward, we're making sure that we make the readjustment necessary so that Canadian population and
we don't need you to rub it in our faces that you helped us during the pandemic and you didn't even do that.
Economy grows at a responsible path.
The honourable member for Mégantic-L'Érable,
Okay, we're gonna skip out, so
what do
we're
you
gonna move forward here.
We reflected well, but to have to us today out of Quebec that is attacking to school is the
because he's busy.
The government of
has just
to deal with this problem. Thank you.
The honourable member from Kelowna Lake Country.
Mr. Speaker, taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, and time is up. This Prime Minister has destroyed our immigration system through his and his ministers' incompetence. He can't fix what he broke on immigration, housing, or anything else because he's busy fighting his own caucus. Now, the Prime Minister is admitting his policies have been totally incompetent, stating immigration has, quote, grown at a rate far beyond what Canada has been able to absorb, unquote.
I love that that's actually a thing that Trudeau said in his announcement, but he still thinks that he's the best guy to lead the charge against Pierre Poilievre.
He is destroying Canada's immigration system and accept his own personal failure.
The Honourable Minister for Indigenous Services.
Mr. Speaker, we've answered that question already in this House several times, but the real question for me today is how does that member feel about the anti-abortionist that she sits with every single day in her...
Holy shit! This is insane. This is literally insane to hear, like, the deflection.
Is how does that member feel about the anti-abortionist that she sits with every single day in her caucus, with a leader that won't march in pride with the LGBTQ community, with a leader who won't stand up for the rights of the most vulnerable in this community, with a leader that attacks the most vulnerable people in this community on a daily basis? How does that...
I don't want a political leader that marches in pride, even if they are for the LGBT community. Do you know why? Because I don't fucking care if they march in pride. I want them to be doing their job.
Members sleep at night.
The Honourable Member for Kelowna Lake Country.
Well, Mr. Speaker, Canada had one of the most well-respected and functioning immigration systems in the world before this Liberal government. And the current immigration minister even stated the growing population impacting housing is, quote, where we have a serious issue we need to address, unquote. The former immigration minister, now housing minister, stated the immigration system is, quote, really disconcerting. It's really a system that has gotten out of control, unquote.
And it's his fault that it's gotten out of control.
This is an admission of his own incompetence.
Yep.
Will the Prime Minister fire the former immigration minister, now housing minister, or if not, will the housing minister resign in disgrace?
Good question.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Leader of the Government to the House of Commons.
Mr. Speaker, I think the members opposite need to get a reality check. When the leader of the Conservative Party was a part of a Conservative government, you know what they did in immigration? I was the critic when they actually froze the parents and grandparents, and then when that didn't resolve the problem...
They froze parents and grandparents? Oh my. They froze the parents and grandparents. Do you mean they froze the applications or the visas, or like what did they freeze? Because the way you worded that, the way you're the parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Immigration is accusing the Harper government of, and I quote, freezing the parents and grandparents.
What did they do? They actually canceled the program, saying you can't sponsor mom and dad to come here. When it came to overseas immigrants coming to Canada, they actually hit the delete button, deleting hundreds of thousands of potential people being able to come to Canada because they couldn't deal with processing times. Don't lecture us on...
Don't lecture us! I'm angry man.
The honourable member from Kenora.
After 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, and time is up. The Prime Minister has destroyed our immigration system through his incompetence, and he is too busy fighting his own caucus and clinging to power to be able to fix what he has broken. He has now admitted that his policies have failed, but he also took his former immigration minister and put him in charge of the housing crisis, Mr. Speaker. Instead, why doesn't the Prime Minister simply fire that minister for his incompetence?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of the Environment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, what's shining through right now in this debate on immigration is the far-right Canadian Alliance Reform Party roots of the Conservative Party of Canada.
The Canadian Reform Alliance the far right.
Him talk about crap?
Yes, and he called them far right.
Okay.
What the fuck? Why would you say something that stupid?
You know, our government is proud of the fact that we've provided over 54,000 Afghan refugees with safe refuge here in Canada, and over 300,000 Ukrainians have come here following Putin's illegal war in Ukraine. And when my family fled Soviet Hungary in the 1950s, Canada had their doors open to people who were arriving here to flee from violence and persecution.
But they didn't bring them in en masse. Oh my God. I can't. I just cannot. I can't. We've reached peak stupid. We've reached peak stupid. I can't continue that anymore. No.
I don't know, maybe you just want to take a moment for a tangent here.
Yeah.
And explain why I just said they're talking about crap and we both had a laugh. You may just want to explain the year and the dumbness behind it all.
Back in the 90s, this is how far back these assholes are going, okay? Back in the 90s, the Conservative Party of Canada had a split, okay? Because there were some parts of the Conservative Party that felt that things were too liberal not too liberal, that they were too conservative, I believe it was. So Preston Manning came up with this party called the Conservative Reform Alliance Party. Crap. Yes, crap. It's actually called crap. And so this party was basically a laughingstock party. It got nowhere, and it was reabsorbed into the CPC eventually. But nobody took them seriously, and for the Liberal Party to accuse them, A, of being far right, and B, of the current Conservative Party having anything to do with that, is just pathetic and sad. So, like, I just can't even fathom that stupidity. That's kind of why I closed it and was like, nope, I'm done. But I showed you guys everything I wanted to show you for political stuff anyway. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to switch over to one last video. Sorry. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up because I can't believe I'm already at 2.5 hours. So we're gonna wrap things up with a Code Blue Cam video that just dropped today, called "Every Wrong Thing You Could Do When Arrested." So this sounds like it's gonna be fun.
In October 2023, while performing his routine duties, an officer came across a suspicious vehicle in a church parking lot in Holmen, Wisconsin. The officer recognized the 42-year-old man as Ricardo, who was outside his vehicle working on something. Aware of Ricardo's numerous past encounters with law enforcement and observing his unusual behavior at such a late hour, the officer decided to see what he was up to.
Okay.
When the
So he's doing late night car work in a parking lot in a church. All right.
officer pulled up in his unmarked truck and identified himself as police, Ricardo wasn't buying it and quickly jumped into his vehicle while yelling, "I'm going to kill you."
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I am. You don't believe me?
I don't believe you at all.
Oh, I can let you go. 702 at 28.
I'm gonna kill you. All right then.
Just had an awkward contact with him. I'm gonna follow him here for a little bit. He had yelled something about trying to kill me or wanting to kill me. Start me as suspicious for right now.
It was also discovered Ricardo was out on 3 misdemeanor bonds.
Oh. Then you should know what the police are, dude.
And by the way, if you're interested in true chilling stories, check out our new channel, Beneath the Badge.
I'm gonna hold off though till I get a second unit for southbound Holmen Drive coming up to Sunset. 702, I'm not even trying to stop him. We're going 60 now, he's increasing speeds. HD Sunset.
333. I'm northbound on 35, alternate angling that way. 326, I'm 3502.
702's driving erratic here. Still southbound Holmen Drive, just ran a yellow light. HD and Coltsburg. Still waiting for a second unit before I initiate a stop.
He gradually increased his speed, soon reaching 70 miles per hour in a posted 35 mile per hour zone.
Good. So double the speed. Literally double the speed. Okay.
705, I'm at the south interchange now.
02 to 05, just make sure you kill your light. Sometimes he doesn't see it. We are 70 southbound 35 right now.
Due to his threat and erratic driving behavior, a high-risk stop was initiated and several officers responded.
702, I'm going to initiate a stop here, 35 and 02.
Dropped down the main for the Holmen traffic stop. Other car code is short too.
702, I think we're going to stop here.
You believe that they're police now? I don't believe that you're police.
35 and 02. We're stopped 35 and OT. When you guys get on a PA, we're gonna order them out. Is there multiple? No, there's one. So you getting on PA? I'll find out. No, get somebody on it just to order them out. You guys on PA or you want me?
Driver, you are under arrest. Bring your hands out of the window.
Yeah. You are now fucked. Stop running.
I need that, but.
Put your hands out the window. Put your hands.
Order him back.
Try to get him right here. Yeah. Stand up.
Is he on the ground?
Yeah, he's moved on the ground. Turn around. Face away from me.
Despite commands to exit the vehicle, Ricardo did not comply and would randomly reach into the vehicle.
Don't reach.
Hey!
Do not reach. Stop reaching.
Yep.
What are you trying to get yourself? He's trying to get himself shot. I swear, that's what he's trying for. He is trying for a police police shooting.
No, I got him. Watch his right hand. Ricardo, walk backwards.
Stop reaching. Put your hands up. Stop reaching.
Jesus Christ, dude. How many times do you need to be told that?
Back up slowly. Stop.
Can you see another occupant?
And lift it up.
It looked like he was talking.
Back of your shirt by your collar. Grab the back of your shirt by your collar. Lift it up.
He eventually began stripping off all his clothes, and at one point dropped his boxers, exposing his bare ass.
Okay. Why are we now stripping in front of the police, my friend?
Pete, put your hands on top of your head. Stop.
Alright, well, this is getting weird.
Well, this is getting weird. Yeah, no shit.
Hey, Ricardo!
Stop.
Ricardo!
Ricardo!
Take some steps to your right.
Ricardo, stop getting naked in the street.
Up to your right.
The other right. Towards the grass.
To your right. Keep going.
Ricardo, leave your jacket there.
Keep going to your right.
Leave it there. Keep walking to your right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
All right, stop right there. Walk backwards to the sound of my voice. I got hands, yeah. Leave the coat. Leave it. Go to the grass. Go to the grass.
Hamilton Road is the bridge collapsed up.
Go to the grass. Go to the grass. It sounds like something you'd say to a dog where you're trying to teach it where to piss. Go to the grass.
Brian Road.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Coming from this side. Okay.
That's not cool.
35 Ricardo.
I was speeding. That's what I was doing. That guy was not a cop, dude.
I am that guy.
You're not that guy.
I am that guy, dude.
No, you were not.
You got a comment, you're gonna kill me or something too. That was kind of weird.
You are not that guy.
You are not the same dude that chased me. Yeah, I am.
That guy.
No, you were not.
Let's just check him quick and we'll try to get him stood up.
Are you
702, you can open the channel if you want to
Are
take.
you
He
high?
stashed the keys on, that's what he was doing, so he locked it up. You got anything on you, bud?
No.
No? Nothing at all? Okay, let's roll him my way.
Okay.
All right, bring your knees up to your chest.
Careful with my cell phone, please.
Yep, knees up to your chest. Come on.
I will.
I'm gonna help you get up. No, I want you to roll over this way, and I want you to bring your knees up to your chest.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
You stand up. 1, 2, 3.
I can't move. My legs are hurt. Sure.
Why are you giggling? I think this dude is high.
Pull the pants up.
All right. You've been here before, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you put your keys?
Keys are in my pocket.
Put your hands on your pants.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Bring over to my squad here. We'll search him, but he's got a bunch of crap in his pockets.
I
So.
would just make use of you guys so you don't get freaked out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem.
I'll walk up the front of my car here.
That was a strip. That was like a straight strip right there.
Why did you do that? That was a straight strip right there. Yeah, why?
It was.
So if you can bag that up, is that cool?
You just never know some days. He's usually got a lot of stuff in his pockets. Yeah. Well, car is awfully full. What were you doing over at the church?
I was gonna have some dinner. Some guy came out of the woods talking about like, I'm a policeman.
I didn't come out of the woods. I drove up there. Let's see what...
He's like literally does not believe that it's the same dude. That's insane.
You didn't even how can you put your lights on then?
Why would I put my lights on? I was just seeing what you were doing. I wasn't pulling you over.
Me? You wasn't you?
Yeah, you kind of took off like a maniac.
It wasn't you. Yes, it was.
Of course I did. You think I'm gonna die out in the woods?
You weren't in the woods. You're in a parking lot.
I don't care. It's still out there. Holman's home and it's kind of out there. But I don't want to do this. All I did was reckless driving.
Appreciate you admitting that.
He Good, thanks for making it easier for us and admitting the shit you've been doing.
The cost have been like $500 somewhere. Bunch of points taken off. I'll go to dummy class.
You act like you've done it before.
I've never done that. Not drunk and drunk, but not that.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna drive on eggshells. I haven't got no speeding tickets and all that. I paid my parking ticket already, so that's good to go. I gotta go to court on 26, by the way.
For what?
I gotta go for one of your stupid idiots for having a crush on my sister.
What? Wait, what? Back that up?
I paid my parking ticket already, so that's good to go. I gotta go to court on 26, by the way.
For what?
I gotta go for one of your stupid idiots for having a crush on my sister.
Wait, I gotta go for one of your...
Wait.
For what?
I gotta go for one of your stupid idiots for having a crush on my sister.
You have a crush on your sister? Or one of the cops has a crush on your sister? I'm confused. Because if one of the cops has a crush on your sister, why would you have to go to court? And if you have a crush on your sister, that's not something you should be saying.
And, well, you're Coleman, I guess, civilian.
You have to go to court because the cop has a crush on your sister?
No, some real little nerd. Bag of glasses.
You have to go to court because
gotta go to court on 26. Over there for someone over here in Holman. I gotta go to court on 26 for lacrosse, my stupid brother.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you at all?
For my stupid brother. What are you do? This guy is just not making any sense. I think he's high. I really do.
Ricardo?
Oh, it's in my other one.
You got 2 wallets. I've never seen a man with
this
2
guy
wallets.
got robbed in Sparta.
Got robbed, so you got 2 wallets?
Yes.
Doesn't that double the chances of you getting robbed?
There's a chance that I may not get the right one.
Oh, so it's like one's a decoy.
Yes.
But they're both attached to your hip.
That's it.
The week after that when he took the shopping rack and started beating everybody at Walmart?
Yeah, that surprised me because he's been so docile. I've talked to him so many times. It's his temper. Because somebody was talking to him in festival parking lot and he threw a bottle and he had it cleaned up and apologized, and by the time I got there I was just like, you gotta work on that, bud. That was one of my first time dealing with him.
I'm a cop. I'm like, Willie, you're hiding in the goddamn truck. And I'm like, that I ran. Literally ran like a
why'd you run?
Because I don't want to get molested.
What do you think we're
I don't want to get molested. Dude, are you okay? Is everything okay?
Not you.
Well, when we disappeared, I don't think
This guy was somebody else. I don't know what the hell happened. I just kept running like a motherfucker. I didn't even look.
Yeah, you were driving like a maniac.
Of course I was. I was driving. I mean, I was waiting. I swear. I didn't run a red light.
You were close.
Yeah, you did.
I would say you ran a yellow light.
Okay, that, I guess.
Yellow usually means slow down.
Well, I was scared he had a gun or something. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to die tonight.
Are you staying clean?
Yeah, I'm clean. I'm not even drinking anymore.
Yeah, I just had him. Pocket, I think. I'll grab him here. I mean, identify myself as a police officer, and he'd said something like, no, you're not. I'm going to kill you. Something to that effect. Then he got in his truck right like he was just going to take off.
So apparently he's an addict or something, or a recovering addict. I don't buy that he's staying clean, because this behavior is not sober behavior.
I probably won't go that route, but it was very, very weird. He thought it came out of the woods and was going to molest him or something, so he was hanging out, working on something outside of his truck.
Had some dinner, and I was like, go in there, jumped in, hopped in, drove like a motherfucker.
What were you going to have for dinner?
I was going to have some coleslaw.
Coleslaw in the church parking lot. All right, man. On a Friday night. I'll switch with you again in a minute.
What else are you guys supposed to do? Let me run?
I was just happy you pulled over. I didn't think you were going to.
Lights.
What's that?
So happy to see the flashing lights.
Yeah.
I was happy to see the flashing. Dude, don't do hard drugs. Seriously, this is insane. He actually thought the cop was not a cop and that he was gonna die. So he said he was gonna kill the cop.
I wasn't going to be taken by no I'm a fake cop, bullshit.
Yeah, we're not fake cops. All right, let's go around to that side here. I'm going to put you in the back of the squad. You're going to go to jail tonight, dude.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Drunken and belligerent, I guess.
I don't think you're drunk, but you're kind of acting like a maniac.
It's easier if you step up, boss.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe just say, this is a situation where you save me from some psychotic guy with a gun.
You do understand that I was the guy that came up to you and talked to you, right? What did you say? You said you were going to kill me or something.
Who else would say that? You threw my ran.
Yeah, why did you say you were going to kill me?
Huh? What? You. That was not you.
That was me.
That was not you. Yes, it was, my dude.
That was literally this. That was this vehicle.
No
You said, who are you? And I said, I'm the police. And then you like scattered into your truck and took off like a maniac.
That was not you.
Okay. All right. Then you pulled in front of a car.
That was not you. Okay. Okay, dude. Sure. That was not me.
Did you see that?
That was not you. I'm not falling down for this anymore.
Oh.
Go ahead, throw me in jail.
Well, it was. You
I'm a fucking yo. I'm a Chicano! Let's throw me, I'm a Chicano!
What the fuck?
Yo, I'm a Chicano! Let's throw me, I'm a Chicano!
What?
Come on, man. Let's get this over. Get down here.
All right. Sounds good.
Talking.
What the fuck is wrong with this dude? He has to be high.
It's not illegal.
I'm not. No, you're right. I don't know what that even was. I don't know what he was yelling. Chicago something? That was weird. That was really weird. I didn't
This is what I mean. Like, is he on meth?
know it was him right away, of course, and then I kind of was like trying to run the plate, and I was like, oh, then I know who this is. It kind of makes sense. So we were hauling. Yeah. Yeah. It was like he was doing 60 something at home and drive. We got into 35. He was doing like 70, and then he was kind of like cutting in and out of lanes to go around cars. Well, we're gonna go to jail for probably reckless driving. He admitted he was reckless driving. He literally flat out told me he was. So we'll do that. We'll do some traffic tickets. I'm gonna probably throw in a DC. We got traffic going by, and he's taking his clothes off. So.
How about a threat of bodily harm? How about that? You should do that.
This is walking distance. If I go to jail and cross.
Walking distance to where?
Where are we going? Class? Are we going to lacrosse or are we going to Homan?
We're going to lacrosse.
I had to chase you 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, you're driving pretty fast there, dude.
I know I'm going fast. Let's try to get back to lacrosse, dude. Well, at least I got a free ride.
Well, they're towing your truck, so.
Been there, done that. Far
Yeah, you've been around the block lately, man. You've had a lot of police contacts.
I have to talk to my attorney. I got the right to remain silent. Anything I say we use something. That was a fake cop all the fucking way.
I was that cop.
I didn't see your face at all when you were talking to that truck, but that was you. So I don't even feel that bit fucking sorry. Walking the beat to get my truck.
What the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now? Seriously.
That was an interesting song.
I'm just saying, that's what I feel about this bullshit.
How many times you been to jail recently?
I don't know. Why don't you go ask your fucking lieutenant, you cocksucker?
Wow. Yeah, this is meth.
I'm the lieutenant.
Yeah, you're the lieutenant. You kiss my
Take your time. No rush. Alright. Take a left. Sit on the concrete there. Appreciate it. I'm gonna have a bunch of tickets in here for you, Ricardo, okay? Just so you're aware. Court date's gonna be next Thursday, so. First one's for the reckless driving, the yellow light violation. You said it was red, but I think it was yellow, so I'll give you a break on. Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude. Why are all these people that are high and drunk and all this shit, why are they so rude?
I don't know what that means, but failure to yield right.
I don't know what that means.
And then the unreasonable and imprudent speed, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
You were doing like 60 miles an hour.
I had my name with the judge.
Yep, well, everybody does, so. You say you your pants? You can't be driving like that, dude.
No.
Well, you should care. What if you end up hurting somebody?
That's fine, let's go. In jail.
I don't think it's fine to hurt somebody. I don't want you to hurt anybody.
While in the booking area of the jail, he suddenly became agitated and began demanding to be tased.
I don't.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I don't think I understood any of that.
I don't know what we make from this military guy. You can come ask him to tase me. Come on, go tase me. Go ahead.
No, have a seat.
Okay. He wants to be tased? Alright.
Tase me right now, you cocksucker!
Have a seat. Now you're gonna piss these guys off, and you don't want to do that.
Hurry. What's going on, man? Not much. He's getting on my nerves.
We're having a conversation.
Start yelling. All right. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of crap in his pockets. He got probably most of it out, but I probably didn't get all of it.
You gonna be all right with this, though?
I'm fine, yeah. I just want to get in jail so I get over with. Wait till tomorrow.
He's been like super chill, and then he's been like.
I don't care. I get sick of dealing with Sparta. I don't deal with your ass.
Thank you.
Lovely. What a lovely gentleman.
Sir?
What's going on?
Oh, it's just been a night. This guy's crazy. I know you guys have dealt with him before, but
Oh, yeah.
he's out there.
As a result, Ricardo was charged with misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct and bail jumping. He also received over $900 in traffic citations and was released on a $1,000 signature bond, only to be arrested 3 more times in 2023. Nearly a year later, the court considered a total of 6 separate active misdemeanor cases involving Ricardo, in which he was ultimately found guilty.
Jesus Christ.
However, the charges related to this incident were dismissed but read in, and all his citations were dropped at the prosecutor's request.
So, I wonder if that means they've basically decided that he's a crazy drug addict and should just send him away to rehab or something. I don't know. That's insane. Let's see here. What should we do? Do I have? I do have. What have I been sent here? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this video, and then I think we'll end for the night of just chatting anyway. And then I'll be back for gaming in a little bit.
Well, this is a historic time to be here in our nation's capital. This is a new Ottawa. There's a new government in town, but more importantly, the Canadian Alliance is about to enter a caucus meeting that will be the last caucus meeting ever for that party.
Yeah, so this is Rick Mercer, Rick Mercer on the Canadian Alliance, the Canadian Reform Alliance.
They are disbanding.
Yes.
They have essentially voluntarily decided to kill themselves.
Yes. They they left the Conservative Party and then they rejoined it.
Where is everyone? I thought there'd be like parades or something. Anyway, I'm gonna go inside and I don't know, I'll tell them I'm the photographer or something. So what I wanted to do is get a quick photo of this historic moment, the last caucus meeting of the Alliance Party. Is that possible?
Brings tears to your eyes.
It does, indeed. They got to move a bit faster than this. All along here, I think. This is going to be a good shot. Okay, we need everyone to move together a little closer. Come on, Stockwell, get in there.
Fucking Stockwell Day.
You look like liberals. Everyone take 2 steps to the right. Look, I'll email you a copy, I promise.
Oh, that was a good that made me laugh. That was a good reminder of times past. We need him back. We do. We really do need Rick Mercer back. I miss Rick Mercer. He was hilarious. But now I am going to wrangle my children into their beds, and I shall be back probably at about 10 o'clock for some gaming, because I got to get practiced up for tomorrow afternoon. So thank you for hanging out with me and enjoying the catch-up stream, and be sure to come back and hang out with me later on tonight while I play some combat. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys in about an hour, and yeah, have a good night.